The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Reaper Apparel offers a casual line of superb fit, finish, and comfort. We design for those who refuse to die slowly and choose to live untamed. For those who aren't afraid to face the dark, for the ones that thrive in it, and for those who can appreciate life through a grim lens. That's Reaper Apparel Company. Go to the link in the description of this episode, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my own personal merch store, the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. I have hats, I have t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, water bottles, notebooks, you name it, I've got it. The description and the link for that will be in the description of this episode. Also, right now, if you use the promo code WELCOME, I will give you 5% off of your first purchase. That's the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood, all American-made apparel, which helps support the Second Amendment. You can also find all this in the description of this episode with the link, Tactical Brotherhood. Part of every proceed does go to helping veterans, as it is a very good cause. All American-made products made right here in Minnesota. Go and check them out. Use the promo code PATRIOT15 to get 15% off your purchase. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I have a great and annual episode here for us that we will be breaking down, and I have a great group of guests here. But first and foremost, we do have two new sponsors I have to get in, and that is Buddy's Beard Care. Buddy's Beard Care provides premium men's grooming products at an affordable price. Products are made in Ohio, and Buddy's Beard Care supports local. The majority of their supplies are from Ohio-based companies. You can find them on social media at Buddy's Beard Care or online at buddysbeardcare.com. Use the promo code BONO15 and you will get 15% off. Also, we are bringing back another great sponsor in Sweet Hands Sports. Sweet Hands Sports. Elevate your game with Sweet Hands Sports. Our sports gloves are designed for champions, providing ultimate grip and durability. Achieve greatness with every match. Choose Sweet Hands Sports for the winning edge. Grip your victory at sweethandsports.com. Use the promo code BONO10 and you will save 10% off of your order. Sweet Hands Sports is batting gloves right now, and they just opened up a golf glove. And for my guests today, they are actually looking into football gloves too as well. That will be coming here later on. But once again, sweethandsports.com. Use the promo code BONO10 and you will save 10%. All that being said, my guests today are the football coaches of the Mathews, I believe it's Mustangs. I should know this. This is like the third time we've done this show. I believe it's the Mathews Mustangs, but I have Drew McLaughlin and Coach Jordan Haig joining the show. Guys, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us, Bono.
Not a problem. This seems to be an annual show for us here, Drew, and we're happy to do it. We're happy to get the team out there and everything like that for Mathews football and everything like that. And so let's get right into it here. For this question is going to be for both of you. What's your coaching background for both of you, and how long have you been at Mathews?
For me, this is going on a decade. It's my 10th year coaching. I started right out of high school in 2013. I've been, out of my 10 years, I've been 5 places. My alma mater, Lowville. I've been at Campbell Memorial, Latonia, Champion, and here at Mathews. And this is my 4th year at Mathews. I was here in 2016, 2017, when Jordan was a player, actually. And then I came back last year in 2023 as the offensive coordinator. Now I'm here again, same thing, offensive coordinator in 24.
All right, Jordan, what about you?
Mine's just beginning, actually. This is actually only my 3rd year coaching at the high school level. I started 2 years ago. I was at Kennedy Catholic over in Hermitage, PA. There's a startup program. I don't know how much longer they're going to be around. Then I came here under Coach Bolta when he got the head job. And it's very special to me because I had Coach McLaughlin and Coach Bolta, and there's a couple other guys on the staff who were actually my coaches when I was in high school. So
Okay.
It's a very special place.
Absolutely. Definitely going back from being a player to a coach has to be a surreal feeling for you, right?
Oh, it's awesome. I learn a lot every day, learn new things every day, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to be around.
Absolutely. So, Drew, you were on last year previewing the 2023 season. I know how it went because I follow you guys too as well. But for the listeners out there, how did the team turn out?
Yeah, so last year was more of a kind of a rough year for us. We ended up 2-8. For the size of our school and the schedule we had, we knew it would be a challenge off the rip. So we had a hard off season, hard summer, getting prepared for that. Just one of those deals where you play 10 games and 8 of those 10 teams make the playoffs, and then three of those teams make it 3 rounds in. So we had a difficult schedule. We accept the challenge, but sometimes it's harder than it looks. We did get 2 wins, which we're proud of that. But we have a few guys coming back this year from last year's team that understand how hard how hard it is and how hard it takes. So we're prepared this year. A little easier schedule than we had last year, so we're excited for that. And we're just getting ready for this year for sure.
It actually brought me into the next question. So, are you having the same schedule with that tough of a schedule, and are you playing most of the same teams from last year?
No, so we dropped Springfield, we dropped Lowville, and we dropped the Ridge, Mineral Ridge. 3 teams those 3 teams made it 3 rounds in last year. So we dropped those 3 teams. We picked up 3 new teams. Grand Valley came back in our league. They weren't in our league last year, so they take a spot up with that. And we picked up Crestline and Bridgeport, 2 teams that are more comparable to us and where we're at right now. So exactly where we need to be. We keep our same opening 3 we have Jackson, Milton, Southeast, and Newton Falls. But at that point, we go to those Crestview and Bridgeport, and then from there we're in our league, which that stays the same throughout. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, schedule wise. We dropped those 3, and we picked up Grand Valley League, and then Bridgeport and Crestline. All
right. Well, looking for good things from you here. So for both of you here, what are your expectations for the 2024 season?
Yeah, expectations for us. We are very young. We have about 26 kids on the team. I'd say probably about 13 of those kids are freshmen. So we have an extremely high freshman class. They're very talented, though. That's the biggest thing about it. You talk to some people and they say we're young and it might take a few years to rebuild where you want to be. But as a staff, I think, and Jordan thinks as well, is we're right where we want to be with our players. We're going to be playing a lot of freshmen, but they're ready for the challenge. They're an extremely talented group of kids. And to top it all off with that, we have a great upperclassmen, junior, senior upperclassmen as well. Guys that are leading our young guys to the right way, the right direction, the right way to do things. So we are excited about the group of guys we have, and they're bought into what we're doing. So we have high expectations this year. With how young we are, we do have high expectations, and Jordan can back me up on that as well.
Yeah, Jordan, what are you thinking about the team this year, being in your 3rd year?
Yeah, like Drew said, everybody's bought in. I'm a firm believer. If you got everybody bought in, you can line up under center and run quarterback sneak every play, and it'll be successful as long as your guys are bought in. I feel like last year we had some floaters of guys who weren't 100% bought in, and now everything looks great. I'm so impressed with what we're doing so far.
So just from the beginning of that, you're a big fan of the tush push play that Philly kind of made famous, right?
Big fan.
3 years to the cloud of dust, baby.
It works 100% of the time, according to Jason Kelsey. You got the right guys there.
That's right. That's 100% right.
Absolutely. Drew, so with with this, the schedule has changed. We talked about that from last year. You talked a little bit about those changes and who those teams are and who you guys will be playing. Do you know anything about those new teams that are coming in this year, and how do you think you guys match up against them?
Yeah, so actually Grand Valley, a team, like I said, they're in our league when Jordan played, and then they left, went to a different league, and they just got approved to come back this year. We scrimmaged them last year, so we have an idea of who they have and what they're bringing back. We think we're comparable right with them. We think we can compete with those guys, which we love that. And then when you talk about Bridgeport and Crestline, no, we really don't know too much about them. We got to do our research and our homework on them. We went on Joe Idol to see, record-wise, what they were the past few years, who they play. They're both Division VII, so we know they're, comparable to us, compared with kids, the amount of kids on the team. But right now, we don't know who they have, what they're bringing back exactly. We just know who they played and what their record was. And just based off that, it is very comparable to us, which we're very excited about. You get into Division VII, it could be a crapshoot. Any coach knows that. But based off of who they played and what their results were, we feel just fine with those two teams. We're very happy about that.
Okay, so for some of the listeners out there that might not know what Division VII in high school football is, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so Division VII, it goes in high school football. Actually, they approved it for almost all sports now. It's Divisions 1 through 7. Division 1 is the highest amount of boys, 8 through 11, grades 8 through 11. It goes down to Division 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. 7 being the smallest and Division 1 being the biggest. For listeners maybe around this area, you talk about like an Austintown Fitch. I think they're D2. That's probably the biggest you're going to see around here. I think Warren Harding's D4 maybe. Warren Harding's D2 too. So that's the comparable size of the kids from there to going down, so on and so forth. Like you see at Springfield, maybe New Middletown, Springfield through D6. Champions at D5. So it's just based on the amount of boys in a school, grades 8 through 11.
Yeah, see, for me, that's a little bit backwards growing up in West Virginia and playing high school ball in West Virginia. It was D1 was your lower level, and then D5 was your highest level. So it's a little different from West Virginia to Ohio. I mean, when I played, Brook High School we were D4, and now they're down all the way down to D2. Like it's a sad day seeing that there's not, and it's based off of, like you said, the amount of players coming out to play for a particular team. I mean, have you seen like a drop off in high school kids wanting to play football?
Yeah.
I'll say, Jordan, since you're a former player here, let's.
So I think my junior year was the most I've ever seen here. I believe, could be wrong, probably had around 38 kids. And this year we're looking at anywhere from 21 to 24. So that drop off has just been huge. I don't know what it is. If kids are picking up new sports or they're just afraid to play, I have no idea what that is. And actually we talked about it yesterday too. It could be the schedule. So like last year we had Mineral Ridge, Springfield, Lowellville, and kids see that and they're like, oh no, those are big schools. We're not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I see. Like I said, it's just completely different from when I played. But now this was back in the early 2000s, and we had 54 kids and 54 guys on the team. I know I'm aging myself with the early 2000s playing high school ball, but yeah, 54 kids on the team. You know what I mean? And that was what you did. In high school, you played football and you played sports and. You were kind of the kings of Friday night. It seemed like back then. I know.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Drew.
Oh, go. No, I'd say it was more like even I was like, I graduated in 2013 when I played. It was like a pride thing, You wanted to do it. It was like, it was cool to play football at that point. You wanted to do it, and you had some guys that were bought in and loved it, and some guys that just did it to do it. But all that together, you add up to about 40 guys on a team. Now you're losing that kind of maybe sense of pride per se. You're dropping some kids off, but I don't know what the correct answer is. You try to do anything you can to recruit these kids in the school to come on out, and some don't even want to hear it, or some are like, yeah, I'll hear you out, and then you get those kids, which is nice, but it's hard. It's harder than it really was when I started coaching in 2014. And it's crazy how much it changes just in 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, even the schedules are like when you play games. Like this one's for both of you. You guys have 2 Thursday night games and a Saturday afternoon game this year. Like, so what are your thoughts on not playing on a Friday night?
Yeah, actually, we have 2 Saturday night games this year now. It just got changed recently. So Saturday afternoon. Yeah, it's there's pros and cons to everything in life. It's nice to have a Friday off. I can go because I really haven't watched a high school game, and you're coaching, you don't get the chance to go see another team play or just get the atmosphere of watching a high school football game. You're always involved, so that's nice. But the crappier part is when you play on a Thursday, you have a short week. You're bunching everything into only 3 days. Or on a Saturday, it's kind of longer. It's like, what do you do for that extra day? Planning wise, it gets kind of hard. You gotta wait on Saturday until you're anticipated to play and coach. But you gotta wait that extra day. So kind of sucks on that part. And also, I'm a big college football fan too. So when I get a Saturday, when I'm taken away from my college football Saturdays, that sucks. I like sitting down, drinking a nice cold beverage and watching football, but it takes away from that as well. So there's pros and cons to it. I would rather just have a Friday schedule and just keep it as is. But I don't make those decisions. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan, what about you with that, with the 2 different day games than Friday night?
So when I started my coaching career at Kennedy, our home field didn't have lights on. They didn't have lights in the stadium. So every time we played a home game, we played Saturday afternoon. So I'm kind of used to it. I don't like it. Kind of like he said, college football, Buckeyes play Saturday. I want to watch the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
But a part of me too is like, I don't care. Line it up. We'll play whatever day, wherever. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let the Buckeyes thing go. Jordan, you're talking to a Mountaineer fan and a guy who can't stand the Ohio State Buckeyes, but you're new. We'll let that slide for the
Country roads, take me home, baby.
Absolutely. Drew knows the deal. Yeah. Get those Mountaineers in there for sure. So, Drew, I mean, there at Mathews, the stadium has undergone some renovations. Can you talk about the new things that you guys have done there and, what you're most excited about with the new renovations?
Yeah, it's been huge changes even since when he played. They have a new home stand, a new press box. They last year just got new away stands, and they also got a new band stand, like a band shell. So it is a completely different look than it was probably even 4 or 5 years ago. It's a more modern, new look. The stands look really nice. The press box is beautiful, and now this year they're just doing a band shell, which is look really nice as well. It's put in because this is a great facility for a Division VII school. Excuse me, and it's putting the whole kind of like the finishing touches on it. It's looking really, really nice now compared to where it was. The administration did a great job putting money into this and getting us to look how it needs to look. Looks great.
Yeah, I mean, I even know, just going back to, my old high school to watch my nephews play, it's amazing what they're doing with these stadiums now. Because when I played there, we were begging for turf and everything like that. We were still one of the few teams that played on natural grass and had that aspect of it. And now they have this big, beautiful turf, new big scoreboard. Stands are all redone. It's like, well, where the heck was all this when I was playing? I think we would have got a few more people to the stands then. than what we have now. But yeah, it's great to see that these high schools are buying in and helping out the stadium and trying to draw more fans. Do you think these renovations will help with your attendance at these games and everything like that? Either one of you.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you.
No. You said, do you think, Jordan? Do you think these new renovations will help bring more people to the stands and to the games this year with all the new renovations that have been done?
I hope so. Last year we had an issue with, I think it was when Louisville came here. They had to they had to rent stands for the away side, and they had them. It was actually really funny. They had them pushed up all the way almost to the sideline because they couldn't get them behind the fence. And the stories we heard from parents heckling them over there is real funny. But I feel like the administration did a great job rebuilding the stadium, the field itself. Minus what's going on with it right now, just a little filling in a couple holes with some questionable field dirt. I think honestly in the area compared to what other schools have for grass fields, we probably have the nicest one around, I think. Yeah,
you can't go wrong with a good stadium, and I definitely get it with the parents heckling the players. As a father of a son who plays high school ball, he's not playing this year. Kind of had some academic things come up, but the wife pretty much tells me I'm not allowed to go to the games anymore because I am one of those parents that gets way too invested into the game. You know what I mean? But I'll still be going because my my nephews play here in Philo, Ohio here now. But yeah, it's. Yeah, I'm not allowed to go to a lot of the games because of my mouth kind of gets me in trouble a good bit of the time.
That's funny.
When I was here, the home bleachers were so bad that I actually remember one time. It was actually when I was prepping to go to basic training. I remember running the bleachers and I actually fell through and busted up my leg and it was all nasty with blood everywhere. But bleachers used to be so bad. I remember on Friday nights, people wouldn't even sit in the bleachers. They'd bring lawn chairs and go all the way across the home side. And the bleachers, there may be 10 people. But there were still, you'd have 200 people either standing or along the fence, just standing behind chairs or sitting in chairs. It was completely different. Now, we're not seeing too much of that because we have really nice home section. I enjoy the box every Friday night. It's awesome.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
There's air conditioning in there.
Especially on those hot summer games at the beginning of the season.
I know. I'm ready for August to have to wear a hoodie by kickoff in the box.
He goes up there. He has his drink and his snacks. He has a good old time up there.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he does. Other than that, Jordan, what would you say is the best thing about the Mathews football team?
Like we already kind of touched on before, it's the attitude around it. These kids we have coming up, especially these freshmen. Last year, I don't know, they went undefeated, didn't they, in middle school?
They lost one
game.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose. We don't want to lose. Last year was rough for us. My coaching career, my first 2 years started off very rough. When I was at Kennedy, we won one game. We beat Cockerton, and they had like 13 kids. But also, at the beginning of the year at Kennedy, we had 11 kids.
Okay.
I think I could speak for everybody that steps foot in this locker room and all the coaches. Everybody's ready to win. We need to get some W's on our schedule.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing more W's come across when I keep up with Mathews football this year. I'm always rooting for you guys and everything like that.
Wonder what happened.
Everything good, Drew? Can you hear me?
Oh, wait.
Can you hear me? Oh, wonderful technology.
Did it turn off?
Yeah.
Paul, do you hear me?
I got you good. Can you hear me?
Our screen turned off. We can't hear you, though.
You can't hear me? Oh, wonderful technology.
Let's see here.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Is it? Let's see.
While we wait for Drew and them to get everything figured out here, I'll take this moment to let everybody know, if you love the show and want to support the show, go and check out my Patreon page. That link will be in the support the show in the description. And check that out. I have a lot of great giveaways and free merchandise from the show and everything like that. Check it out, patreon.com/ridehomerants.
Bono, you hear us now?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
We got you now. We're good.
All right. Wonderful technology, right?
Oh, yeah. We love it around here.
My favorite saying is it's great when it works. I love it when there's stuff like this. I kind of lose my train of thought a little bit here. But yeah, the one Jordan, you were touching on, the winning way and wanting to win. And I was just saying, I'm definitely looking for a few more updates when I'm following the team, that there are more W's in the column for you guys, and definitely rooting for you every week to hope that we can put some W's on the board for Mathews there. But I always follow everybody that comes on the show. We're now up over 200 episodes, so I have a lot of things that I keep in touch with for sure. But yeah, I always look forward to it and to see those updates for sure. But for both of you here, your football field is not at your high school. Does that present a problem with the students going to practices or any off-season liftings or anything like that?
So, actually, again, the school does a good job. There is a bus that's just for football kids after school that brings them right from the school to where we're at. It's probably not even a 2-minute drive. It's right down the road. They have a bus that takes these kids right from school to where we're at. We've never had a problem with it once. Even for games, there's no issues at all. Our locker room's right here as well. So, which is nice. The whole, locker room with the facilities being here. So the only issue we would have is just if that bus wasn't running, but it always runs. So we've always had success with that with no problem with all of the kids coming here.
Jordan, what are your thoughts?
He pretty much hit it. And like you said earlier, we got a good group of upperclassmen. And most of them drive. They kind of help out with that too. Not a ton of kids ride the bus. They still have it every day. I remember when I was here, they've been running that bus for a long time. Just from the school down to here, it's only like a mile and a half. I remember a couple of times, there was only 2 kids on that bus, and they would still run constantly. Just because everybody else came here, they rode with somebody. The school does a really good job. They help us out a lot with making sure kids get here after school.
Yeah, I got to say that was a new thing for me when I moved here to Ohio, because I guess I was a little bit spoiled at Brook High School. Our field was right at the high school. Everything was right there. We didn't have to get on a bus to go to the facilities for lifting or anything like that. We pretty much school ended and we were walking right to the locker room then down onto the field, and then, move here and, Philo here, it's the same thing. The high school and the field are not, they're within a mile of each other, but still, it's not the facility's not right there. And it posed a problem for a little bit of the time, and especially in the summer off season, the conditionings and the weight trainings and everything like that, getting kids there. But the school does, a good job, like you guys said, with having buses ran, and the upperclassmen seem to be bought in with, giving the underclassmen rides. We don't have nearly as many freshmen as you guys have. Almost over half your team is, freshmen. So, that could pose a problem, but it's nice to see that the school and the upperclassmen are bought into that for you guys to make sure the team stays connected and, build that bonding and rapport like you should in high school sports.
Yeah, they help us out a lot for sure. It helps us really nice. I couldn't imagine, say if your locker room wasn't next to your school. Say the locker room was at the school and the football stadium was different. That would suck.
Yeah,
that would really suck.
Having to get all suited up, then all right, guys, get on the bus. We're going to go to the game. You know,
that would be horrible. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare situation. I'd be building some type of scaffolding or something just to cover all to let them go there to the field and change if that was have some big tents set up. All right, guys, get in there and change, you know.
That's for sure.
All right, again, for both you, Jordan, we're going to start with you. What are your opinions on the team having a ton of passing scrimmages all summer? Does this truly, help or hurt a team?
You love this.
Oh, so I got mixed feelings about passing scrimmages. Actually, now in Ohio, after your season's over and you have your no contact period, you can start doing 7-on-7 scrimmages now as of this year. So I think offensively they're great, awesome, especially for us this year. We wanted to get a few in. I think we have one scheduled, though, at the end of the month, especially because we have a young quarterback. It'd be nice to get him out there and see, go with a little bit bigger school so he can see some faster DBs and really focus on making good reads throughout a 7-on-7. And the other side of the ball, I hate it. I hate it so much because this year I'm coaching linebackers. And I hate, you always really push, okay, take your check steps. And then by the fifth play, they're just bailing. So it creates bad habits for them. So actually this year, what I think I'm going to have our inside backers do, we do our 7-on-7, is start on a knee. So you have to get up and then take your check steps. And then, depending on if we're in man zone, whatever, if we're in just cover 3, hit your hook curl after that. I just don't like anything that would create bad habits for our guys.
All right, Drew, what are your thoughts? Offensive coordinator?
Yeah, again, it's like Jordan said, there's pros and cons. My biggest thing is just being competitive, going out there and going against another school. For a kid, 15 to 18, it always brings out a competitive edge in them. Just to see how we react in game time situations. If good things happen, if bad things happen, how do our kids respond? It's a good tell to see before we hit our actual scrimmages coming up. So I think I'm not a guy that's going to say every week, let's go hit this pass scrimmage, go hit that one, go hit that one. I think one's good. I think if you're an older group that's been around each other for a while, two's good as well. But for us right now, freshman quarterback, a lot of young guys in the system. We changed up our defense from last year. So I think one will be good to kind of show where we're at, to see what we do well, see what we don't do well, see what routes work for us, coverages work for us, and then take us into August, and then that's when it's really, balls to the wall. So I think, there's pros and cons. I like the competitiveness of it. So I think one's good. But I'm not trying to go overboard with them for sure.
Yeah, I know last year we had one here for the high school, and that was at Ohio State.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah, it was a cool one to go to. The downside is my son's a lineman. He's a center. And it kind of got him in, like Jordan was saying, it kind of got him into some bad habits, snapping the ball, and then he was just kind of standing there. Because there's no one to block. There's nothing to do. They weren't allowed to pass rush or anything like that. And it was all passing. So it definitely got him into a lot of bad habits of snapping the ball and then standing straight up.
Standing right up. Yep, exactly.
So, it took the coaches and myself a while to kind of break him of that habit. A lot of fun for me as dad in the backyard when he was snapping the ball and I was just pushing him over just because he was standing straight up. So, that's a happy dad moment for me.
Get some anger out.
Absolutely. But but I get it. There's pros and cons, like you guys said. We did 4 when I played, and I was a receiver, so it really helped me work on my routes, my timing with the quarterbacks and everything like that. But other than that, I don't know what real need there is for that many. 1, maybe 2.
Yeah. Some point it's overkill.
Yeah, and so that being said, with that, I want to get both of your opinions here. What is the best away stadium you'll be playing at this year?
Just away stadium. I'd probably say it's between probably Southeast.
Well, are we playing at Ravenna like we were supposed
Yeah,
to last year?
I think we're playing at Ravenna. Southeast. I think I might be wrong, but last year they were going through renovations with their stadium. So instead of playing at Southeast, we're going to play at Ravenna. That's the school that has the blue turf.
Okay.
They're a bigger school. If that's the case, because we're away this year, we'll be playing at Ravenna. That would be really cool to play on a different colored turf. That would be cool. And then really, because actually this year we're going to be the Road Warriors this year. We call ourselves because out of the 13 things we have scheduled, 1 passing scrimmage, 2 scrimmages, and 10 games, we are away 9 of those times. So we only have 4 things that are at our place this year. Yeah, so we're the Road Warriors for sure.
Absolutely.
It's insane. It's insane. But I got to say, Southeast, if we're at Ravenna. If not, let's see. What do you think? Pie Valley? No,
they're here.
Yeah.
Wyndham's not too bad.
Wyndham's nice.
Wyndham's not bad. Never been to Falls. Never been to Newton Falls.
Newton Falls,
That'll be the first. I don't know anything about Crestline or Bridgeport, so.
All right. Well, yeah.
It's probably Southeast Ravenna by default.
Yeah.
No matter where it's at.
It seems like next season, and when we do this show, we're probably going to have a lot more answers to that question. Being the Road Warriors this year and having a lot of road games, we're gonna have a more defined answer. But it's always tough playing away games. But 9 of them, like that's tough on a team.
Past scrimmages away, both our scrimmages are away. Then we have 6 away from there. Yeah, so 9 things away. We do throw out Camel at the end of the month. Camel is a nice stadium as well. Beautiful turf. They have 2 decorated stands on each side. So that'd be cool to go there and throw there. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now with everything. A lot of away games for us.
All right. Well, that's
a lot of gas money.
That's a lot of gas money right now. That's for sure.
I just bought a new truck in the winter, and I'm going to put a ton of miles on it this year. Because I don't ride the bus. I don't like riding the bus.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Yeah. So lastly here, I want to kind of get into, for both of you, both being, offensive coordinator and you coach the linebackers there, Jordan, what is your off-season versus in-season strength and conditioning programs like?
Definitely.
Actually, Coach Polta does everything for our off-season stuff. Each athlete gets their own individual plan, and I wasn't around too much in the off-season. I had a job change during the off-season, and I had to be at work a lot so I could be here more in the summer. Now I'm here every day. I'm very, very thankful for that. My boss is great. Lets me pretty much make my own schedule so I could be here whenever. What Coach Polta did this summer, wow. Or this off-season, holy cow. I would come in probably once a week and kind of talk with the guys and meet with him and talk with him and see him, check up on how everything's going on here as I could. And just some of these guys have put on from their different lifts, 100 pounds for a squat, 100 pounds for a bench. Like these kids, you can tell who was here all winter just by what we see out on the field every day at practice. Like you can see the kids that really put in the time and effort to come in here and lift. And I think an off-season program is like kind of the foundation of how your year's going to go. Like we had a little tip that, Kirtland, they played in the state championship game, and a week later they had kids in the weight room. Like, they're that committed.
Wow.
That's what Coach Bolt is actually trying to build here, and he's doing a great job at it.
Drew, what about you?
To back off what he's saying, now you look at some kids, last year, because they understood what it took. When you go through a season we had last year, you kind of understand, okay, I do need to be faster. I do need to be stronger to compete with these schools, right? And there are some kids like a Connor Thompson, who was more of a receiver for us last year, probably, 140 pounds-ish, 150 pounds, if that. And now he worked his butt off this offseason. Now he's probably about 190, pushing 200.
Uh-huh.
And that's just sheer muscle too. Like a kid that like that, or maybe like a Grady Garrett, a kid that has some knee troubles. It kind of hurt him, and Coach Bolta told him if you want to help your knees out, you want to get on the field, you're going to have to really work at lifting weights. And the difference from last year to this year, it's undeniable. He's moving so much better. He's stronger. He's faster. It makes a huge difference. And the biggest thing about that is that I've been seeing is the buy-in from the young guys, seeing what the older guys are doing, right? Like a Drew Spagnoletta, another junior, who last year he broke his collarbone week 1, had a great sophomore summer. He's going to be a great player for us. Week 1 and breaks his collarbone, out for the year. So it's it stinks, but it kind of built got this drive for him, and ever since then he's been busting his ass. He's been lifting hard. And a kid like that, he can't wait to get out there and play, missing a whole year. Our freshmen and our sophomores see the commitment from those juniors and seniors, and now they're lifting their ass off too. So they're really setting a good example for our guys. Like Jordan said, Coach Bolta did an unbelievable job with our offseason program. These kids are really, really, they know what it takes now, and it's nice to see for sure.
Yeah, and I'll say this as someone who graduated high school at 155 pounds. Don't count out those skinny guys when it comes to lifts. don't count us out. No,
never. No, we love you guys. Trust me, I love those guys like that.
My coaches were always impressed when we did our max out days in the summer lifting, because they see me, 6'5", 155 pounds, just this string being of a guy, was just a red zone threat, wide
That's
receiver.
That's a great receiver jump ball. Yeah,
that's
right
it.
team, baby.
Inside the 20, I knew it was my time to get on the field. Like, that was it. In between the 20s, I'm cool. Like, that's not me. Like, no way.
You go up for a jump ball and making a joke too, laughing at the guy.
Oh yeah, I've gotten plenty of personal fouls in my time for my mouth. It started in high school as well, but yeah,
because your career not being a comedian,
Absolutely, it helped, getting those chewings on the sidelines after catching a touchdown pass, and then getting a personal foul and having our kicker have to kick a longer extra point than need be at the time. So yeah, they didn't like that part of me, but it is what it is. I knew my role, and I was going to execute it flawlessly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to you guys and keeping up with you. I'm glad we were able to preview the season and everything like that for you guys. But just like when I have every other guest on, I'm gonna give you both about a minute. If there's anything you guys want to get out that we didn't cover in the show about the team this year, like I said, I'm gonna give you about a minute, and the floor is yours.
I thought you were going to give me the Fast 55 questions. He isn't really prepared for you?
He didn't have any Fast 55 for this one. No Fast 55 for this one.
What would you rather do? Jump in a river for 10 minutes or go catch a chicken or something?
Yeah, it would probably have been like, all right, you're locked in a football locker room with the Bear, Mike Tyson, and Conor McGregor. Who comes out alive? Like, that's just... Jordan, that's the type of questions you get when we have a Fast 55 for sure from Fitty. So, but yeah, guys,
just to touch on it, like we said before, it's a new kind of culture around here. It's almost like a new beginning for us. We are so excited to coach these kids. That they are so bought into what we're doing here. It's a really, really good thing what we have going here. And we may be young, we may have light numbers, but I always say this to anybody that I can tell. You don't play 25 kids, you play 11, right? And the other team plays 11 as well. And we think, I honestly, every game we play, I have a great feeling that we have a great chance to win it with the 11 we have. It takes 11, but our guys, 1 through 26, 25, are so bought in. It's a team, that they like each other, and it's really, really a good thing to see as a coach, what these kids are doing, and it's nice to see you're going to see this with these young guys for a long time. So we're really excited about the future, but we're also really excited about the present.
All right, Jordan, what about you? Anything else to echo on that?
I'm just excited to see him play. Last year, I felt at this point of the year, we were nowhere near where we are now. These kids that we have this year, we had a good group last year, but these kids right now, they're so smart. They are so smart. It's like we put something in and now it's good. Run it 2 or 3 times and it's good. Everything looks good. I'm also really excited to see how our staff works together. Last year we had some changes. Started off the year, we had 3 guys in the box. Me and Drew were in the box together, along with another coach that was here. And then now, halfway through the year, he ended up going down on the field and he had me on the headset. And it took a while, but then we finally started to click. Everything worked good. We were flowing all right. And I'm really excited to see what we can do week 1, so we don't have to start all over.
All right, absolutely. I will definitely, Drew, this, I will be following you guys all season long. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of your guys' hard work in the offseason and in the season here. But that is actually going to do it for our Mathews football preview show. Thank you, Drew and Jordan, for coming on and taking time out of your busy summer schedule and getting to talk about the team a little bit here. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me, and I will see y'all next week. The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by W Energy. Energy drinks made for gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. For gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. Go to the link in the description where you can find the best energy drinks out there. Less caffeine than a cup of coffee. Also, no jitters and no crash afterwards. Use the promo code Mike Bono and get yourself 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my favorite sponsor of the show, and that is Shankit Golf. Golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We might not go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but this is going to give us the gear that's going to help us rocket on and off of the course. Go to the link in the bio, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get yourself 10% off there as well.